Hey everyone, let's talk about One Piece. Specifically, let's talk about the arc that almost everyone skips or dismisses on a rewatch, Syrup Village. I know, I know, it's the one with Usopp and the lying. For years, I thought the same thing. It felt like a goofy, low-stakes adventure before the real story kicked off. But I recently went back, and I am here to tell you we were all wrong. Syrup Village is not just underrated, it's a masterpiece of subtle storytelling that lays the thematic groundwork for the entire series. It's where Oda reveals his true genius, and we all just kind of missed it. Most people see this arc as Usopp, the coward, learning to be brave. But that's just scratching the surface. This story is a deep, psychological dive into the nature of lies. It explores how lies can be both a poison and a medicine, a shield and a prison, and it teaches us that sometimes, the people who seem the weakest are the ones holding everything together with nothing but stories. To really get it, you have to understand Usopp's daily routine. Every single morning, for 3 years straight, he runs through Syrup Village screaming the same thing: "Pirates are coming." The villagers are annoyed, they chase him off, and they dismiss him as a pathological liar, thus looking for attention. But here's the detail that changes everything. He's not lying for fun. He's performing a ritual. Think about his past. His father, Yasopp, left to become a pirate. His mother then got sick and passed away, clinging to the hope that Yasopp would return. For a young Usopp, pirates aren't just cool adventurers. They represent the ultimate trauma: abandonment, loss, and the death of a parent. So, what does he do? He creates his own narrative. He conjures up fake pirate attacks that he can defeat. In his stories, he's the hero, he protects the village, and nobody gets hurt. These lies are his therapy. They're a way for him to control the one thing that completely shattered his world. He can't bring his mom back, and he can't make his dad come home, but he can win a fight against imaginary pirates. It's a coping mechanism, a way to process his grief and fear in a world that feels completely out of his control. This isn't just a kid being annoying. This is a boy trying to heal a wound that's too deep to show anyone. And then, the ultimate irony hits. Real pirates actually show up. The very thing he's been pretending to fight for years is now at his doorstep, and it's 1,000 times worse than he ever imagined. This is where the genius of Captain Kuro comes in. Kuro isn't just a generic early arc villain. He is the personification of Usopp's deepest fears. He's not a swashbuckling adventurer. He's a cunning, manipulative predator who has infiltrated the safest place in Usopp's life. For 3 years, Kuro has been playing the part of Klahadore, the loyal butler to the orphaned, sickly Kaya. He's been her confidant, her caretaker, the one adult she trusts implicitly. And the whole time, he's been slowly poisoning her, both literally and psychologically, planning to murder her and steal her inheritance. This isn't just a robbery plot. This is a story about the violation of trust in its most disgusting form. Kuro represents every adult who preys on the vulnerability of children, who twists their love and innocence into a weapon for personal gain. He used Kaya's grief over her parents' death to isolate her, making her believe she was weak and helpless. Also, she would never question his control. It's psychological torture disguised as care, and it's one of the darkest things we see in early One Piece. Now, let's talk about the moment that absolutely breaks your heart. Usopp discovers Kuro's plan and runs to the village, finally telling the truth for the first time in his life. And nobody believes him. Can you imagine the sheer terror and desperation? He spent years crying wolf, building a reputation as a liar to protect his own fragile heart. Now that the wolf is real, that very same reputation has become his prison. The scene where he's frantically trying to convince the villagers, knowing that Kuro's crew is already closing in, is devastating. It's the ultimate consequence of his lies. He's completely, utterly alone. The shield he built has now isolated him from the very people he wants to protect. This is the turning point for Usopp. He realizes that his stories and his lies won't save him now. He has a choice. He can run away, which is what he's always done in his head, or he can stand and fight, for real this time, and he chooses to fight. Not because he's suddenly a brave warrior, but because the lives of his friends and the safety of his home are on the line. He says one of the most important lines in the entire series: I will fight because I want the things I've set up until now to not all be lies. He decides to make his biggest lie, that he is a brave protector of the village, come true. It's an incredible character moment. He's not just fighting pirates. He's fighting his own legacy of fear and deception. And what about Kaya? Her story is just as powerful. She's been trapped in a cage of grief and illness, manipulated by the one person she trusted. Kuro made her believe she was fragile, that her sadness was a sickness she couldn't overcome. But when Usopp's desperate cries finally reach her, something clicks. She sees through the manipulation. The moment she confronts Kuro, pointing a pistol at him, is monumental. She isn't just defending her life, she's reclaiming her agency. She's breaking free from the psychological prison that Kuro built around her. She is choosing to believe in the liar Usopp over the truthful butler who has been slowly killing her. It is a powerful statement about trusting your gut and finding strength even when the world tells you you're weak. This is also the arc where the Straw Hat dynamic truly solidifies. Luffy, Zoro, and Nami don't even question Usopp. They don't know him well, but Luffy overhears his vow to protect the village, and that's enough. He doesn't care if Usopp is a liar or a coward. He sees someone trying to protect their friends, and to Luffy, that's the only truth that matters. He sees the heart behind the lies. This is the foundation of the Straw Hat crew. Unconditional belief in each other's intentions, regardless of their flaws or past. They don't just help Usopp fight, they validate his struggle and give him the one thing he never had: people who believe in him when he is telling the truth. By the end of the arc, Usopp hasn't magically become a fearless warrior. He's still scared. He still tells tall tales. But something fundamental has changed. He faced his greatest fear and survived. He turned his biggest lie into his greatest truth. And he found a family that accepts him, lies and all. When he joins the crew, it's not just about becoming a pirate like his dad. It's about finding a place where his stories have value, where his unique skills are needed, and where he can continue his journey of becoming the brave warrior he always pretended to be. So, the next time you're thinking of skipping Syrup Village, don't. Pay attention to the quiet moments, the lies Usopp tells, and the subtle poison of Captain Kuro. You'll see a story about trauma, healing, and the incredible power of narrative. You'll see a boy who used lies to survive, and then risked his life to make those lies a reality. Syrup Village, in a filler arc, it's the heart of One Piece, beating quietly, waiting for you to listen. Thanks so much for watching. Everyone, if you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more One Piece analysis. Let me know in the comments which underrated arc you think deserves a second look. Until next time, take care.